Hello again and welcome to the Warhammer 40K Imperial Guard Tactics video. Now, as per tradition, before we get into today's video, I would like to acknowledge the awesome photos sent in by York Chan of his 13th Cadian Regiment in battle against the vile greenskins of the Bad Moons clan. I am happy to report that Commander Chan has secured the relic, and the encirclement and the annihilation of the greenskins was complete. Very good. Thank you, York, for sending in these pictures. I just want to take the time. I want to take the time, guys, to acknowledge and appreciate the beauty that is the classic Cadian paint scheme. Classic Cadians are one of those where no one does it because everyone thinks that everyone does it. It's a bit like Ultramarines. No one really does it, so everyone thinks they do it, so no one does it. But when done properly, it's just so good. It's beautiful. And it looks good because it looks like a military force. And I have to say, loads and loads of people paint their Imperial Guard forces in quite bright and garish colours, myself included. And there's two reasons for that. One, because it's beautiful, it attracts the eye, and two, it's actually easier. It's actually easier. It's actually really difficult to paint a proper military scheme, a proper, realistic camouflage scheme. But when it's done correctly, it looks amazing. And I have to say, Mr. York Chan, you have done these Cadians proud. They look perfect. They look just how Cadians should look. So you should give yourself a big pat on the back, sir, because these guys look amazing. If anyone else has any cool pictures they want to send in, please post on my Facebook page. There will be a link down in the description below. Now, speaking of Cadians, let's continue with this Cadian theme. Let's talk about the Big Daddy himself. Well, yeah, that's right, guys. We're going to talk about Papa Creed. Or, to give him his full name, Lord Castellan Creed of Cadia. I believe that's his full name anyway. I believe it's Uskar E. Creed. I'm not sure what the E stands for. Okay. We're going to talk about him. Okay, there's a reason we're going to talk about him. Chapter Proof 2018, guys. I told you there was some guy when I did my initial reaction video. Oh, you need to do. Hope not enough details here. I fucking told you, dude. I promised. I didn't tell you. I promised you. Did I not promise you I was going to cover lots of in-depth things about the changes in Chapter Proof 2018? Boom. I have done. I'm keeping my promise. We're here. And one of the big ones I want to talk about is Big Papa C, Mr. Creed. People think Gilliman's all that, but you ask me, I'd choose Creed every time. Yeah, I know he's chilling in a Pokeball at the moment, but yeah, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go and look into the Fall of Cadia. Yeah, Creed, he's a beast. Chapter Proof went down to 55 points. That is less than the price of 2 company commanders. And that's very important because he used to be, if you will let me look this up, he used to be 70 points, which is more than the price of 2 company commanders, but he wasn't worth it. He wasn't worth more than 2 company commanders. He is now at 55 points, a 15-point decrease. He is now very, it's like almost a 20% points decrease. He is now definitely worth it. In fact, guys, I would say if you're taking Cadians, Creed's an auto-include. Let me explain why. Number 1, rule of 3. You can only take 3 company commanders. However, Creed is a separate data sheet, which means if you're running Cadians and you're running heavy infantry armies, which you should be doing if you're being competitive, then you will want to get your hands on as many orders as possible. And Creed, you get your 3 company commanders, your 3 platoon commanders. Creed can also, that he's a source of another 3 orders. Yeah, that's right. So even though he costs just less than 2 company commanders, he can only issue 3 orders. So he's actually, when you think about it, he is the price of a company commander and a platoon commander plus 5 points. What are you spending those 5 points on? Well, the fact that he comes with 2 hotshot las pistols and a power sword is incredible. Now, don't forget, guys, you can, when you're firing weapons, you can fire either all your rifle weapons or all your pistols, or throw a grenade. So the fact that he has 2 hotshot las pistols, he can fire both of those. It's only a 6-inch range, so if he's going to be in a bit of a tricky spot if he's getting to use them. But don't forget them. Don't forget them. He also has a power sword. It's pretty good. And he has several abilities. His stats, by the way, are pretty... His stats, I'm just looking at now, I think they're identical to a company commander in all but 2 respects. 1, he has leadership 9. And 2, he has carapace armor. He's a 4+ save. So he's movement 6, weapon skill 3, ballistic skill 3, strength 3, toughness 3, wounds 4, attacks 3, leadership 9, which is very important, as we've discussed. Individual character leadership is very important in the current... It's a bit of a submarine, this, by the way. Be aware, this is submarine meta. There is a rise of psychic powers, which are based on leadership roll-offs. The reason for that is that they, unlike Smite, which is to target the nearest unit, these powers you can pick an enemy unit. It doesn't have to be the closest, and you can do these leadership roll-offs. And having high leadership on characters now is actually quite important. Anyway, so he's leadership 9, and he's got a 4+ save. So in cover, he's got a 3+ save, which is, pretty good. He has the voice of command. Special rules, so he can issue orders, of course. He has the refractor field, special rules, so he has a 5% invulnerable save. He has the ability Tactical Genius. If your army is Battleforged, you receive an additional 2 command points if Lord Castellan Creed is your Warlord. Very good. And he has the Supreme Command ability. Lord Castellan Creed's Voice of Command ability has a 12-inch range. That is double everyone else's. Everyone else has a 6-inch range, he has a 12-inch range. And he may use his ability 3 times in each of your turns. Resolve the effects of the first order before issuing the second order, and so on. So, there you go, guys. He's got a 12-inch range, which is massive. He has the ability to cast 3 orders. If he's your Warlord, he gives you 2 additional command points. And this is all on a 55-point character. Now, what is Creed's Warlord trait? Now, I believe it is, and I will just check this, because I do not want to come across as a complete noob. Skipping through the pages, looking like an amateur. If an end character with the specific regiment keyword as your Warlord, they must be given the associated Warlord trait. Yeah, so because I used to think that Creed had Grand Strategist as the keyword, as his inbuilt Warlord trait, but he doesn't. Okay, Creed has the Superior Tactical Training Warlord trait. Now, what this does is roll a dice each time your Warlord issues an order or tank order on a 4+. That order can affect an additional Cajun unit of the same type as the original target, i.e. infantry or Lehman Russ, within 6 inches of the Warlord, guys. So this is very important. Creed gets 3 orders on a 50-50 chance on a 4+. He can issue the same order again to another unit, so he's going to get 3 orders. Now he has 3 chances to get this off, which means statistically you're going to get it at least once. So statistically, Creed is going to be issuing 4 orders a turn. So if you have Creed and you have him surrounded by like 3-4 squads of infantry, he can very easily issue all those infantry squads. Now don't forget, important to note here, don't forget that you can use on Creed the stratagem which gives you an extra order, which escapes me now, but I want to get the name right, so I'm going to. Inspired Tactics. Can't believe I forgot that. Inspired Tactics. Use the stratagem after an officer from your army has issued an order or tank order. That officer may immediately issue an additional order, which means Creed could issue 4 orders, and then he has a 50-50 chance on each one of those orders being able to issue the same order again, which means with inspired tactics, with Creed, with superior tactical training, Creed could do 6 orders in 1 turn. That's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And what order do you think you're going to be using the vast majority of the time? Take aim. And why do you think you're going to be using take aim all the time? Because of the Cadian regiment trait, which with the Cadian regimental doctrine, reroll hit rolls of 1 the shooting phase for units with the doctrine that did not move. If an infantry unit with this doctrine is issued the take aim order and it did not move in the previous movement phase, you reroll all failed hits. So how would I use Creed then? I would use Creed in the infantry Firebase. This is very important, guys. This is how I would genuinely use Creed, right? You take him and you just... Oh, don't forget, I just want to point out that if you have Jaren Kell, which is Creed's bodyguard, Colour Sergeant Jaren Kell, that he would let Creed or any Cadian order officer issue another order. So you could get, feasibly, that's Colour Sergeant Kell listed up maggots. You can make 1 additional order with a single friendly Cadian officer within 6 inches of Colour Sergeant Kell in each of your turns, which means statistically Creed would be issuing 7.5 orders a turn. So we'll just be unfair on ourselves and say 7 orders. So Creed could issue 7 orders. And that's relatively, it's not even that difficult for him to do that because Jaren Kell's like 45 points. So for 100 points, you've got Creed and Kell. And we'll talk about Kell here as well. Well, no, I'm going to talk about, I'll cover Kell fully in another video because he deserves his own video because he's an absolute fucking hero. I love Jaren Kell. I've always liked him. I've got the old metal model of him. But we'll talk about him in a separate video. But essentially, Creed can issue 6 to 7 orders a turn, easily. Now, I would use him in this infantry Firebase. Now, what I'm talking about is you want to keep Creed safe. He's going to be your Warlord, more than likely, because superior tactical training is a fantastic Warlord trait. It's not like other Warlords who have this bullshit Warlord trait that no one wants to use. This one's genuinely good superior tactical trait. It's probably the best one in the Guard Codex. One of the best, anyway. So what you do is you put him next to 3 squads of mortars, because Cadian mortars are fantastic, and then you put him next to 3 squads of veterans. Okay, because veterans have gone now. There's a reason for that. Now we're talking chapter through 2018. Veterans have gone down in points, so they're really, really viable. But don't forget, autocannons have gone down in points. Grenade launch has gone down in points. Plasma's gone down in points. Missile launch has gone down in points, guys. So your mortars are obviously going to provide you with some serious anti-infantry capability. I mean, if you want to do 3 heavy weapon squads, I mean, if you want to, you could have Creed sat next to 3 las cannons, 3 autocannons, 3 missile launchers. It doesn't matter, but I'm using mortars because Cadian mortars are really point sufficient. They're really competitive, Cadian mortars. Now you want to take the veterans because veterans are really good. Veterans, I've been championing foot veterans for a long time. Now they're really cheap. They're fantastic. Now let me just throw this out there, and we'll be covering veterans in another video. I've got so many video ideas popping out my ass right now. But veterans are now 5 points per model, which means 50 points for a squad of veterans, which is cheap, guys. Now we've done videos on this before, but with the rise of invulnerable save spam everywhere, you want to be looking into taking things like autocannons and grenade launchers. And guess what went down in chapter approved? Autocannons and grenade launchers. Now you can take 3 autocannons, Jesus Christ. You can take 3 grenade launchers and an autocannon in a veteran squad. You can throw a heavy flame on there, which went down. But you don't really want to because these are meant to be backfield fire support units. You can even take a bolter on your sergeant, right? So if you take bolter, 3 grenade launchers and an autocannon on a guard veteran squad, you dig all this shit in cover, and don't forget you can spread them out a little bit, guys, because Creed has a 12-inch bubble. Do you see what I mean now? See how this all stacks up? This all works together. You see how Creed is so good? It all stacks. It's like, oh, I don't want to have to mash everything in one building. You don't need to mash everything in one building. Creed's got a 12-inch order bubble. You see how crazy this shit is? And you don't need to be doing things like first rank fire, second rank fire, and any of these guys, because the whole point is they're backfield fire support squads. And suddenly, you've got each one of those squads, each one of those veteran squads with 3 grenade launchers and an autocannon and a bolter. You don't have to take the bolter, but fuck it, it's basically a special weapon to the guard. It's like an additional mortar shot. Think about it that way. It's like your mortars have got D6 plus 1 shot. All that, it's 70 points. That's nothing. You've got 3 of these squads. It's only 210 points. I mean, if we're looking at Creed in this scenario, I mean, Creed himself is 55, and then you've got 210 for the veterans, and then what is it? 33 points per mortar squad, so 99 points. For 364 points, guys, you've got 9 grenade launchers. You've got 3 autocannons. And that's another video I want to be talking about. Autocannon grenade launcher making a comeback. And then you've got 9 mortars. Now you can mix that around. Maybe you want to upgrade those autocannons to missile launchers. Maybe you want to go plasma and lads cannons. If you want to splurge the points, you splurge the points. But this is insane. This is the basic bitch version of this. If you don't splurge all the points, you just take this as a basic fire support bunker. It's 364 points for all this shit, guys. And the craziest thing about this is you're re-rolling all your hits. The craziest thing about this is that you can use overlap. You're playing cadence. You can use overlapping fields of fire. So you've got some big motherfucker coming down at you. If you could make this into a real nasty anti-tank situation, you could put a missile launcher on every single one. I'm saying missile launchers now because they're cheaper than las cannons, and that with invuln save spam being a thing, you don't really need the extra AP of the las cannon. So you could have 3 missile launchers and 3 plasma guns in each one of those squads, and I mean, a missile launcher and plasma gun in each one of the squads, which is, and now that plasma guns are 11 points per model, is only 98 points, guys. 98 points. That's insanely good. I was paying back before Chapter Proof 2018 when I was running my veterans, foot veterans, which had a missile launcher, 3 grenade launchers in. That was costing me 90 points. Now, for 8 points more, I've got 3 plasma guns in that anti-tank squad. Insanity. Absolute insanity. I must have paid more, because it was 60 points plus 15 plus 20. I was paying 95 points. So I'm sorry, after Chapter Approved 2018, my foot veteran squad that was 3 grenade launchers and a missile launcher for 95 points, for 3 points more, now I get 3 plasma guns. 1 point more per plasma gun, essentially, after all the points decreases. So you can see, and obviously we're going to go off on veterans, and we'll do a separate video on them because they're one of the most improved units in the Guard Codex, and they should be auto-included now. But you can see what I'm getting at here, guys. This Firebase with Creed, and everyone's getting rerolls to hits. It's absolutely insane. If you were to take this as a proper nasty, like anti-knight. This is anti-knight. Knights in the meta. We're going to teach you how to beat the knights in the meta. One knight is like 400 points. 400, it's about 400 points. 400 pints, jeez. 400 points for a knight. So for the equivalent points cost, you could get yourself 3 heavy weapon teams. Just throw some autocannons on there. You know, autocannons are cheap enough that you can spam them now. You know, it's 18 points plus 30, it's 48 points, times that by 3, and then you've got yourself 150 points to your 3 veteran squads. Fuck it, let's give each one of those a plasma gun, so that's 33 points per squad, so that's 99 points. And then you've got yourself a few missile launchers, which are 15 points each. So you look at another 45 points. Then you've got Creed himself. You know, you add all that together, you're looking at 9 plasma guns, 3 missile launchers, and 9 autocannons, all re-rolling to hit, just slamming into that knight. You know, you do a couple, you're hitting on 2s and 3s with this thing. You know, you're looking at 493 points. It's you know, and that's the expensive version, guys. That's the expensive version of this Firebase. Yeah, we're talking, if you're taking the cheap version, it was what, 364 points. It's veterans. The key to veterans is still to keep them cheap, guys. It's still to keep them cheap. That's autocannon grenade launcher veterans. That's where it's at now. That's the meta right now for Guard. You know, go big or go home. We're really struggling in the invulnerable save, high invulnerable save meta. Creed plus all the autocannons and grenade launchers that you can get within 12 inches of him. He's going to be an absolute boss. And the key to all this, like, you take those mortars away, they can't do shit on their own. On their own, they can't do shit. The veterans on their own aren't worth it. But you put all this together with Creed and the fact he's going to be bossing out all these orders. Yeah, Jesus, you know, it's powerful. It's insanely powerful. You know, first thing that's going to go on any of my lists now is going to be Creed. Creed. Yeah, if I'm taking Macadians, it's going to be Creed and this little Firebase, 364 points. That's it. I might even... Fuck it, it's so cheap, I might even take an Aegis just to troll. Aegis defense lines are not even that good, but I can spread this out and I can put all this shit behind it. I shouldn't really need to, though. Maybe a Sky should be better, but... No, that's what I'm talking about. This Firebase with Creed. It's so much firepower. Anyway, guys, I'm waffling. I'm repeating myself. This video probably could have ended like 20 minutes ago. It could have been a 2-minute video. Take Creed, take veterans, take heavy weapon squads. It's powerful. But I'm showing you the options. I'm showing you the variety. And the key thing I'm showing you here is the flexibility. The flexibility of this Firebase. It can be, if you're not sure what you're facing, my instinct would be grenade launchers, missile, autocannons, and mortars. That would be, I'd go for the cheapo version because it's cheap. You can slot it into any list. It's powerful. It's really powerful. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tell me what you think of the Creed Firebase. That's the tactic I'm calling it. Creed Firebase. Creed Base Alpha. If you've got any cool names for this tactic, think about it. I'm calling it the Creed Firebase. Creed Base Alpha. Firebase Creed. It's being called Firebase Creed. That's what we're calling it. Thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.